$1 billion. Views. Pay attention, ladies and gentlemen, because your social media strategy is about to get a crash course on what's working in social media land in 2022 from Mr. Mike Dominic of Be Viral, who, by the way, they control about 1 billion views per month. Let's dive in. Mike, man, so stoked to have you on here. And let's just jump straight into the deep end here. You guys are seeing data at scale in terms of social media, and you guys are huge on Instagram. And I think you've migrated into TikTok heavily since the last time we chatted, right?
Instagram, Snap, and YouTube for the most part, and Facebook as well. A lot of our content, though, does come from TikTok.
Awesome. And I want to kind of get into how you guys source content as well. I think that'll be cool. So, but you guys are seeing a ton of data across Snap, Instagram, YouTube, etc. And I thought we could just unpack a little bit for the listeners, because it's really hard for a lot of content creators because you only have so little data to look at when you're starting out. Like if you've got 1,000, 5,000, even 10,000 followers, you just don't get a whole lot of feedback to maybe make really educated decisions. So what are you guys seeing that's really working as we go into 2022 here? And it's probably different on these different platforms. So if we need to break it down by platform, we can do that. But let's just start with IG. What are you guys seeing work on IG right now?
Yeah, absolutely. I think kind of across the board, what we're seeing is the scale of content that you post has significantly changed from days of the past. We're posting 20 times plus a day across a bunch of different platforms. And with the proliferation of short form video, the short form video wars across all the different platforms, obviously they favor that quite a bit. So we're seeing that consistent posting, a ton of content, stuff that's really engaging, stuff that really captures your attention as you're kind of casually scrolling is definitely the best way. And short form is winning.
I've heard in the past from multiple people that you don't want to post too much because it doesn't give the previous content enough time to let the algorithm do it. But you're saying that you guys are posting on some platforms 20 times a day. So that kind of sounds like you're debunking that myth in some ways, that you can actually just post a ton of content. And if it catches, it catches.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the best way to really actually hone in and find out what works. The caveat to that is consistency. So if you're posting a ton of times a day, you can't turn that on and then turn that off. You have to have a good content library to keep it up.
So the consistency, a huge piece of it. And are you seeing that you can post at that scale? Let's just use that number 20 times a day on each platform. Does each platform pretty much work the same in terms of the amount of content it can take and what it can do with it?
Yeah, not necessarily. We have found, particularly on Facebook, is actually where we do a little bit more of our longer form content. Sometimes a higher posting frequency helps. However, consistency really is everything. So whatever your production level is, whatever your content library looks like, however much content you're getting in, allocate that appropriately across those platforms. Anything that's really focusing on short form is where we've actually seen the posting consistency being the best in terms of volume. YouTube Shorts for sure, Reels, etc. We've also found that posts will actually live for a good 7+ days and pick back up and catch again.
Interesting. Now, in regards to you were mentioning the battle of the short form platforms, you got the big three that I think about are YouTube Shorts, or at least I have the most experience with YouTube Shorts, IG Reels, and TikTok. And what we've seen is that the algorithms work vastly different on all three of these. When we're doing testing, we can see Reels within seconds get thousands of views, with only hundreds of followers, just right out of the gate. TikTok, it can take a few hours and then it'll take off. And then YouTube Shorts can be even longer to take off. But I'm curious to know if you've had the same experience. YouTube Shorts seem to have a longer shelf life to where they can just go for days and days and days and just keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the interesting things on YouTube Shorts that we look at pretty consistently on our channels is the real-time view count. So sometimes we'll go in, we'll see a video start to pop, and that video might have been posted 3 months ago. Did really well 3 months ago, kind of slowed down, and then all of a sudden skyrockets again.
Are you seeing that type of action on Reels, for example, or is it kind of once it does its thing, it's kind of done and chances of picking back up are low?
Yeah, Reels less so with that. We do see some stuff that pops a little bit later, about the 7 to 30 day window typically. But YouTube, it's been crazy. Actually, as of late, some of our top performing videos were posted early 2020 even. And it was with the switch to shorts. that they're just looking for any sort of content that did well previously, putting it in the short format and then blowing it up again.
So you're taking content that already was good content in the past and just reformatting it for a short form, and then it's getting a life of its own again.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And it's been really interesting because I think when it comes to the war of those platforms, what's been really interesting, everybody wants to go viral. That's kind of a big turn on for those platforms. Everybody wants to understand how they're going to grow. But I think what all these platforms are trying to figure out is how best they're going to monetize creators. Creators are going to go where the money is. The technology, the algorithms, the video recording technology is all relatively good. And creators are going to go where they're going to get the most growth, but also the most payout.
Where is that right now? Where are creators making the most?
Facebook's doing really well. Reels has released a lot of their bonus programs. I think they're trying to figure that out a little bit more. TikTok has been historically a little bit low. YouTube Shorts is extremely low at the moment. But in working with them, they are planning on doing some pretty big things next year to kind of revitalize that a little bit. The biggest dark horse, I think, in all this, honestly, is Snap. Snap has done a fantastic job in terms of monetizing creators that create shows. But their Spotlight platform, I think, is really kind of the next wave that they're going to focus on.
So give me the why you should pay attention to Snap, like 30,000 feet view, because I've wrote Snap off, don't really pay attention to it, not a user, but obviously they have a huge demographic. I think at one point they were going down and then they had a resurgence again. So like, why should someone in 2022 be paying attention to what's going on Snap and actually creating content for it?
Yeah. Snap's been really interesting. They've been very aggressive in terms of actually getting shows on their Discover feed. So if you kind of scroll through your Discover feed, that's kind of like the new, like flipping through channels, if you will. So there's so much content there. Their tiles are really impressive. The way people try to lure people in with that tile and that caption and drives really good engagement. From a publisher standpoint, what's interesting is you can launch a show on Snap and have 0 subscribers. But if your content is good, it'll get a lot of views and your subscribers grow with that, as does revenue.
As a show, again, because I'm ignorant on the Snap land, but is a show kind of like similar to like a YouTube channel per se, like where you would be putting like longer form content up?
Similar, yeah. A lot of times they're relatively broadly themed. You know, we've seen shows be about 9 minutes, and that could be 9 minutes of a bunch of different types of content. So it could be, you know, a compilation of sorts. They like some user-generated content, but also original productions as well. Posting cadence on that is less, but we're seeing a lot of success as we launch new channels like that, yeah.
Are you guys putting a little bit longer form content on Snap, kind of like you said with Facebook as well?
Yeah, absolutely. We're doing a little bit longer form on Snap specifically for the shows. And then in terms of Spotlight, we're actually seeing a lot of creators will post, and I'm sure you've seen this on Reels and YouTube alike. They'll make their content on TikTok and then post it on Spotlight and then kind of grow from there. Where I think Snap is going to start expanding significantly more is in places like India, Brazil, things of that nature. They're really focusing aggressively on onboarding really strong creators to use that platform. And then having the ability to launch shows on their Discover feed is a great way to make money in the meantime.
Fantastic. And what's the scale of like what you guys are managing under the Be Viral brand? Like, what does that look like in terms of like reach, audience, etc.?
Our content gets about 1 billion impressions a month across a lot of platforms. Yeah, that's it. Just a measly billion. But it's continuing to grow. I think in 2021, we had about 40 million hours of watch time across the different platforms, things like that. Our following grows fairly steadily. We got about 30 million plus in following across most platforms. But where we see the majority of our impressions and our reach kind of come from is honestly YouTube Shorts is a big one for that reach side, as well as Instagram Reels.
Nice. So if you had to give like one recommendation for, let's just create an avatar here on the spot, somebody that has an online business of some sort that's looking to like double down on content marketing in 2022, like, and they don't have a lot of time, like what one platform would you recommend that they start on based on your experience?
Yeah, honestly, if they don't have a lot of time and they're looking to pump out a lot of content, looking to grow quickly, Reels is giving a lot of love. Everyone's kind of seeing it across the board. They really want that to work. I know Instagram has been working tirelessly to kind of change up their feed and their video format and things like that. So Reels is probably one that people are going to be using quite a bit. It's going to gain a lot of reach, gain a lot of traction. Their shopping integration is really good if you're at an e-commerce business. So I would probably say there.
Nice. Awesome, dude. And where can people find out more about what you guys do? Like, what are some of the channels you guys have and things like that?
Yeah, absolutely. So beviral.com is our website. It kind of just has a little bit of an overview about our company, our flagship Instagram account at beviral, as well as a YouTube channel. We also own Oof Dynasty, Land of Floof, Learn, a bunch of others, but those are continually growing. The one area to look for us as well is obviously on Snap, launching a ton of new shows. So as we get those launched out there, that we kind of get them listed on our website, but they're not necessarily all under the beviral name. We kind of launch different shows on different themes.
Yep. And that you guys do in-house production as well, right?
Yeah, so we focus on viral videos, in-house production, and then servicing the creator economy as well.
Amazing, dude. Well, Mike, thanks so much for coming on and breaking that down for us, giving us some insight into what's working. I think you guys have a fascinating viewpoint on it just because you have so many data points across so many platforms. So appreciate your expertise in breaking that down for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime.
All right, dude. Talk soon.
Thank you.